Hello, good morning. Welcome to Joy News Desk. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlimle. Coming up this morning, prepare for more blackouts as Minority Spokesperson on Parliament's Mines and Energy Committee reveals Gridco will be shedding at least 500 megawatts for the entire week.
That this week, Gridco has written to the ministry to inform them they will be shedding load of 500 megawatts every day. And yet, government officials have instructed ECT not to issue the load shedding timetable.
More as he claims the power distributors are under instruction not to provide a timetable despite the certainty of outages. Ghana Health Service urges the Ghanaian public to return to mask wearing and other COVID-19 protocols as it confirms what it says are sporadic new cases of the infection, especially in the capital, Accra. Details as the service advises Ghanaians who test positive for COVID-19 to isolate for up to 7 days. Plus, apologize to the people of Ejiso. That's the call from Imani President Franklin Kujo to Roads Minister Asenso Boache, who warns constituents against voting for any other candidate rather than the MPP's Kwabena Boateng.
What the road minister is communicating is not fair, and it appears to me even secondary school politics have actually evolved than even this. This politics of might is stronger, and that the fact that I'm in power, that means people who are closer to me must be able to lobby me to get projects. It's unfortunate.
Do stay for details. Residents of the Upper West region have added their voice, urging government to come out with a timetable to enable them plan their daily activities. Business persons offering secretarial services, students and workers say the frequent unplanned power cuts are affecting the activities, with students bearing the most brunt as they are unable to study for their exams. Joy News' Upper West region correspondent Rafiq Salam reports.
Unplanned power outages and punishing high temperatures, making lives uncomfortable for residents of the Upper West region. For several months, businesses have been suffering as a result of the former, making residents struggle for survival.
Residents of the Walo community, by extension the Upper West region, are really smart the issue of power outages, otherwise known as Dumso, but locally here it's known as Kuchanyo. People who are into businesses, organizations, officers are really smarting from it. They are saying that it is not really helping them. Some few minutes ago, there were these two generators that were really making loud noises right here. So we are currently here to talk to the people who are managing these businesses and see how things are panning out.
Standby generators are often used, especially by few people, to run their businesses during the power outages. Others who cannot afford the services of a standby generator feel the pinch and pain and sit down like Egyptian mummies seeking for help. Lutfia Yahya is the manageress of Ludness Ventures. They are offering secretarial services, sale of stationaries and other office equipment.
The first effect of the light outs mostly is it spoils a lot of our machines. That's the first effect. And then sometimes when it's like that and the machine shut off without you following the normal procedure to shut it down, when you want to on it again, there's a code that will come that gives you a lot of problems. You rather will incur a cost of changing part of it or something. And then secondly, when the light went out off like that, we are forced to put on the generator. That is additional cost that we add to our business. But we still cannot increase the charges because cost of living is already high. When the light went off like that, the computer sometimes we just want to off it, then it come off on again. So it means that you have to call in a mechanic or send it to a mechanic to work on it for you. So that is another additional cost you are always incur. These are costs you don't even plan for. But they have come. What can you do? Because you can't shut off the place or close down the business. You have to incur. So at the end of the day, we are running at a loss. We are not actually making profit.
Adjacent Lieutenant Ventures is the name Ventures who are also offering same service. Though the owner of the name Ventures refused to speak to us, the loud noise from an electric generator is evident enough of the inconveniences she goes through. Kenneth Ali Nwadi is a health practitioner residing at the extreme end of the Wakabanya enclave. He painted a mental picture of the struggle they go through with the unplanned outages.
Very, very, very horrible situation. Unexpected light off at night, in the daytime, anytime the light can go off. Otherwise, you don't have, if you plan to do anything, you can be affected negatively because the light will go off and then you get disrupted. It has since been so for a very long time now. The heat is so much, I'm highly affected. My children want to study and go and write exams. Their studies are disrupted. So they can't prepare very well for the next examination or the examination day. So before you realize, everything is off and everybody is in disarray. The heat alone will not allow you to sleep. It's very horrible. And in the Upper West here, this is the heat period of Upper West.
Whilst Kenneth Ali wants the government to come out with a timetable for the power outages, Lutfi Yaya, however, wants the government to do the needful by attending to the needs of the power companies.
They should be honest with us and give us a timetable and prepare us so that we mobilize ourselves and organize that and get to know that at this hour of the day or this period of the time or this period we shall be having light off.
You owe them, you are all the time, you are lying. So they intentionally will put this light off, telling you that it's a fault. Meanwhile, it's not a fault. It's intentionally. Let's come out and face reality.
Students of the Simon Diodon Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies, SDDU, are also not left out in the power outage conundrum. The situation is even worse during the examination week, forcing them to use unconventional ways to study.
My hostel, we are about 7 inside. And imagine if lights up, how we feel the condition there. We are crowded and no light. Some of us are using electrical gadgets to cook. We can't cook. We go through a lot through the doom. So
some students got bitten by snakes and other dangerous reptiles as a result.
If the movement of one place to another, especially from this place to campus, there is no even street light here, and also we are girls. The girls now, we fear. We are scared, so because of that now, we always come and hang around this place, sit, so waiting for the light to come back. We just sit and refresh ourselves and waiting until the lights come before we get to our hostel because it's always warm inside.
When you start to learn, then the light is out, doom, so you get back inside and then it will come back. So you have to come down again and then go to class. You go to class and then boom, the light is out again. So because of that, people just say, oh, then it's okay, I'm not learning. Let me sleep, let me do this, let me do something else. Let me come out and sit. And now too, because of the weather, the snakes and reptiles are always coming out. So if you don't take care, you can get bitten. The last time one lady got bitten while sitting outside because of doomso. If she was inside, this thing wouldn't have happened.
So what the people in the Upper West region are now talking about is that at least they want a timetable so that they can be able to plan their lives. So they are calling on the government to come to their aid, let them have a timetable for these lights out in the Upper West region so that their businesses, their children's school studies will not be truncated. Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam. Wow.
Well, prepare for more blackouts. That's the warning from the minority spokesperson on Parliament's Mines and Energy Committee as he reveals the country's power distributors will be shedding at least 500 megawatts each for the whole of this week. John Jenapo, who spoke to Joy News last night, said in spite of the certainty of the supply shortfalls, the power distributors have been given strict instructions not to share a load shedding timetable. Listen to his instructions with Evans Mensah on Newsnight.
Is it not curious that this week, BIDCO has written to the ministry to inform them they will be shedding load of 500 megawatts every day, and yet government officials have instructed ECG not to issue the load shedding timetable?
You know this how? Because I haven't seen any evidence to this effect.
Today, I'm speaking to you on fact. Check with GRIDCO whether they are not shedding 500 megawatts this week on a daily basis.
The allegation that they've been directed not to publish.
We met them.
The Mines and Energy Committee of Parliament has announced 8 resolutions directed at all the players in the sector after its meeting with them. According to Chairman of the committee, Samuel Atachia, the committee is asking President Akufo-Addo to direct Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam to do everything possible to raise money to purchase fuel to power the thermal plants after it was observed that the current intermittent power supply has been caused by a lack of fuel because there's simply no money. Samuel Atachia again.
To a very reasonable extent, the issues were clear to us and the problems too were obvious. And I didn't see anybody trying to say that, oh, you overruled in terms of what you are trying to accept as a problem that is conflicting in this. So it was a congregation of the key players in the supply chain. And that was a very comprehensive engagement, and it became clear to us. So we tabled about, let me count, we tabled about, I think, 8 observations and sent to the president, the stakeholders themselves, to the speaker, and then the majority leader and the minority leader, for them to understand what is going on. And then we expect that action will be taken on some of these matters to bring us to normalcy. Okay. Bear in mind that for good measure, close to over 7 years now, we have had power. So I have always said that why should we say that the closing chapter of the president, I mean, we should come to this kind of situation. So he is acutely aware of some of the challenges that is affecting the sector now, and he owes it to his name to remedy it. We said that the president should secure the synergy among the critical players in the power value chain, especially the Minister for Finance, the Minister for Energy, the Managing Director of the Electricity Company of Ghana, the Chief Executive of the Volta River Authority, and the Chief Executive of GRIDCO. We're very, very much concerned about it. One issue that cropped up was, as Riley said, fuel. You know, so we said the Minister for Finance use every financial activity to make available to the generator, namely TAPCO, TICO, TT, TT1PP, TT2PP, Ameri, and the rest of them, same power and the rest of them. That if these are thermal setups, and critically, without the availability of fuel, they will not be able to generate what to expect. And it's a money issue, and it should be found, because the cost, the economy of having power outages sometimes is incalculable. So the money should be found to ensure that fuel is secure for these markets. And then we can be assured of a very consistent power generation.
Samuel Atachia says the committee resolved that the players in the power sector must adhere to the cash waterfall mechanism and ensure it works.
We're very concerned about the cash waterfall mechanism, which is that, according to the players, the safest arrangement, ECG should rake in the money, and the money should be applied so that those who are generating the power will also have adequate money to continue, so that the cycle of business will not be curtailed. We are 100% aware of some of the challenges that ECG is going through, but nevertheless, it is imperative that the cash waterfall mechanism should work. And if there are anything that the government should do so that ECG should stand on its feet about some of this. But we are also told that if and when they comply fully with the cash waterfall mechanism, they might suffer operational challenge. But the regulator is well, that could not be something of concern to us. You should go by it. So let's look at what will make ECG comatose without probably they putting their hand in the cash waterfall mechanism. And let's see whether there will be a way to resolve this. We are also very much concerned that, ECG had a climb of revenue from about 69.7 million out, in 2021, and it went up to about 10 billion out in 2023, which is to say that they are determined to plug in the loopholes in terms of the generation returns. That if you have about 27% of what you generate being losses, I don't see how any serious undertaking can post profits if 27% of what is supposed to be your revenue goes down the drain. And if it means serious recapitalization of the nation's major electricity distributor, you should do so. So, in short, these are some of the matters we pried into, and then we also profit the views of the committee. And then the president has it. The generators of power, everybody in the value chain is aware of what is tabulated. And we pray that very soon we shouldn't go through the crisis we find ourselves.
Atache, as chairman of the Mines and Energy Committee of Parliament, will have been joined by energy expert lawyer Kwame Jantua for more on this. Mr. Jantua, I'm grateful for your time. What exactly is the situation, from your monitoring? Because we seem to be getting different accounts with regards to our power situation.
Well, good morning, Aisha, but are we talking directly at this particular comment that was made by Honorable Jinapo, or generally what is happening? Because we all know what is happening. It's nothing new. Look, if Mr. Atache says that we have had 7 years of sustained power, what went wrong? Why can they not tell us what went wrong? And if the situation is financing, why can't they bring us all together to the point and tell us it's a financing issue? Because it's more than financing. It's a cocktail of financing, debt, equipment, maintenance, cash waterfall, and fuel and personal interest. They are all part and parcel of the cocktail we are talking about. And so at this point, that Gridco, according to the Honorable Jinapo, that they have been given instructions not to indicate what's really happening to us, doesn't help anybody. We are all part and parcel of enjoying electricity, and electricity isn't a privilege, it's a right because we pay for it. So if at the beginning they started advising us, telling us exactly what was happening, today it would be easy for them because they can come and say, look guys, we have to share 500 load at this time, at this time, at this time. It's difficult now to say because we didn't start from the beginning. And if it's going to get worse, at least tell us it's going to get worse. I was listening to a news item on Joy. One doctor was saying his equipment that he uses for oxygen, it has been destroyed. He bought it for $8,000. So you can see the magnitude of what is happening. And you do not want to tell us that it's doomsday. At least if people know it's doomsday, they know how to plan. I go to market, I won't buy too much food because I know if I buy too much food, when lights go off, it's going to spoil. They manage what they have. So really, I don't understand the situation where we don't want to open up and be transparent about this particular issue. Rather, we tell the Minister of Finance, please find money, find money, find money. How much money are we talking about? How much? What is it going to take to get Dumso back? And I keep saying to myself, look, We gave you the country to look after, your management to look after, to make sure that it is being run well. If you feel you got to a point to do it, get out of the soup. Get out of it, because we cannot continue this way. At least give us a time this will end. And if it's in perpetuity, then we know it's in perpetuity. So we plan.
Mr. Janto, at least you know that this is a cocktail of money, financial debts, fueling issues, personal interests, and all of that. Is this something that will get out of soon, or we should just brace ourselves?
The operative word there amongst this cocktail is finance. That is the operative word. You need finance to be able to buy feedstock. You need finance because gas is a challenge. Apart from that, the other side of the question that makes it even more difficult is the personal interest bit that is in there. And we need to address, look, I was expecting the president, when he commissioned the K1 in Kumasi, I was expecting him as an opportunity to tell to Ghanaians, yes, we appreciate the patience you've had for us. However, these are the challenges, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these challenges, we are trying our possible best, at least for one of the challenges, to get finance in so that we can sort some of these things out. When we had the discussion on Joy Prime the other day, the gentleman from the chamber of generators, what did he say? He said they've paid some, but the majority of it hasn't been paid. So there's a debt issue there. And for me, I believe that at this point, we have crossed that stage of it being a party item. It is a national item where we all need to sit and find a solution once and for all. Because when MPEC came into power in 2017, they didn't expect to meet Dumso. Look at some of the things they said before they came in. And this one is suffering, and that one is suffering, and this one is suffering. All because there was Dumso there. It was a capacity problem. And at the time, to some degree, it was sorted because more equipment was brought in to handle the capacity issue. So if that is if that was happened there, yours too has come. Yours is a financial issue. Let the people of Ghana know. That's why they put you there.
Mr. Janswa, one of the measures the finance minister indicated this weekend that they are introducing is for ECG to have one account for revenue generation. Is that the solution?
How can that be the solution when you don't have money? How can that be the solution when you don't have money? How can that be the solution when government owes ECG? How can it be the solution? The crux of the matter is money. We need the finance. Once the money comes in, then when you are now working cash waterfall, you've put things in place to work cash waterfall, then yes, you go for the one account and you monitor that account to make sure that the money there is equitably spread between all the tier 1 and tier 2 operators. But at the current moment, you open the account, where is the money in the account? I expect the finance minister, Dr. Amin, coming back from America, he will come back and tell us, okay, Ghana, we've identified X amount of money which we can use to start doing something on this. So give us the next months to be able to solve this thing at certain point. Look, we found $250 million to do African Games. No African country contributed to the African Games, but we found the load. Let's go and find another $250 million where we got that from to sort the challenges out. Because at least African Games, it didn't affect everybody in Ghana. It's not everybody in Ghana who went to African Games, but everybody in Ghana is reeling under this energy crisis.
I'm grateful for your time.
It's challenging, Aisha. It's challenging for everybody.
We live to see how this ends. It does actually look like we have to brace ourselves for more. I'm grateful for your time, Kwame Jantwa. He's an energy expert, throwing more light on the challenges we're having with our power in the country. Let's get on to some other issues. And the Ghana Health Service is urging the Ghanaian public to return to mask wearing and other COVID-19 protocols as it confirms what it says are sporadic new cases of the infection, especially in the capital, Accra. Though the Ghana Health Service says such new cases are not strange, it wants the public to observe the COVID-19 protocols such as mask wearing, social distancing, and isolation if they test positive for the virus. Dr. Franklin Asiedubekwe is Director of Public Health, who has been sharing that information with us. I've been joined in the studio by Head of Health Desk here at Joy News, Fred Smith. Fred, what's the situation at our hospitals currently with regards to new infections?
Well, in the hospitals, we don't have anyone in severe or critical condition from COVID, mainly maybe because a lot of us have taken the COVID-19 vaccine and therefore are not suffering from the severity of it. We also know some persons have not taken the vaccine, and such persons will have a difficult time dealing with COVID once they get it. So the advice is for those who haven't taken the vaccine to go for it now. As it stands, Aisha, we don't know the numbers yet because the latest information from the Ghana Health Service dashboard, as we can see on the screen, is showing that as at the 7th of April, we had 21 active cases in our system now. No severe or critical condition reported in there. However, things have changed since that time, and it is possible that we have a lot more cases that has not been reported or updated on the dashboard yet. They've also been looking at the positivity rates based on the surveillance they've conducted by the Ghana Health Service, and they looked at routine surveillance. They had 12.4% of positivity rate in that area, and then they looked at enhanced contact tracing as well, which produced 8.8% positivity rate. We had 0.9% positivity rate for those traveling into Ghana, and that brings us to a total of 6.8% positivity rate among the Ghanaian populace. And from that information, majority of those cases are in the Greater Accra region. And there's actually a map on the dashboard that shows the areas with the most cases. And down there, you can see Greater Accra with the deepest part. The lightest part will be the Savannah region with the least of cases, as you see there.
Northeast, I think.
Yes.
Savannah and Northeast.
Northeast. In fact, the regions up north have recorded the least cases compared to those down south.
Down with the
Ashanti region, Greater Accra, Eastern Volta. OT is also doing quite well, but Volta, Eastern, Ashanti, Central, and Western regions, and you can understand why. Lots of business activities take place here, and so it explains why we have that situation. I'll point to you where the majority of cases are. It's in Greater Accra region. The new sporadic cases that the Ghana Health Service is telling us about, it's in the Greater Accra region, and the breakdown is Korle Klote. That should be in the Osu area. Lots of cases there now. Ayawaso West, the airport area, we have lots of cases there as well. Ayawaso East, I believe that should be Kokomlemle and areas around that. We also have significant cases there. Then Shai Osu Doku. Outside of this area, we have the Eastern region, New Job in South, Ho, Sanerigu in the Northern region, and we have Savannah region, Central Gonja. All of them recording cases, except that Greater Accra is leading. So in terms of the areas where we've had significant vaccinations, again, Greater Accra region is recording a lot of vaccinations. Then we have areas around it where we saw majority of cases, a lot of people going to vaccinate. In total, 28,515,000 have vaccinated. They've taken the vaccine. But the Ghana Health Service is saying if you've taken the vaccine, which is more than a year ago, you need to take a booster jab or you need to repeat the vaccine so that your immune system is stronger to deal with it. The understanding is that people have had multiple infections from COVID and may have developed or acquired immunity as a result of that, but that cannot be a certainty. So to be sure, you need to take the vaccine and then observe the protocols.
Okay, and so the advice from the Ghana Health Service is for us to take the protocols, the COVID-19. What are the protocols again?
So the mask wearing is number one. Protect yourself against others and yourself from the other persons.
Like social distancing?
Yes, so if you have COVID and you're wearing the mask, you are not going to spread it. If others have and you're wearing the mask, you're not going to contract it. So first barrier is the mask.
Okay.
Then social distancing. If you're a bit far, as we are now, 2 meters, it's fine.
Okay.
You will not get the particles as I speak to you.
Have we gotten to the point where we should avoid large crowds?
Well, the advice is not for us to do that, but I mean, once you're wearing your mask, it should be fine to go.
For now.
For now, yeah, wherever you have to. It's not such a big deal like we had at the beginning of the outbreak, and so you can still wear your mask and
go about your normal activities.
Yeah.
Right. First Smith is head of health desk here at Joy News. Thank you for bringing us that update. Now, the Member of Parliament for Swami, Osechi Mensah-Bonsu, has been explaining why the construction of the 4-tier Swami interchange project in the Ashanti region has been delayed. The project suffered several delays after appearing in the national budget 3 times until President Akufo-Addo in October 2022 cut short for construction to begin. But Mr. Mensah-Bonsu, who has been lobbying for the project, says Ghana needs to a clean bill of health from the International Monetary Fund before accessing funds for the project.
Interchange project being constructed in 2 phases within 30 months will comprise 5 overpasses at Krofrum, Abrepo, Anumanye and Magazine New Road, as well as Abusiankruwa junctions. The completion of the project will ease the burden on the traveling public as sections of the Kumasi Ring Road will be widened and the Ofinsu Road upgraded into a 3-lane dual carriageway. An additional 15-kilometer stretch of local roads would be developed as well. In 2022, Parliament passed a loan agreement totaling 156 million euros between the Government of Ghana and the Deutsche Bank. But despite Parliament's approval, funds were not readily made available to the contractors from the funding sources. MP for Swami, Osechi Mensah-Bonsu, says he is looking forward for the project he lobbied for. He has been explaining why the project has suffered delays despite Parliament approving a loan deal.
Maybe the one facility that I've been lobbying for all this while, the Swami interchange, which has not yet materialized. We've started, and then we're hit by the aftermath of the COVID, then our engagement with the IMF, slowing down what ought to have been done. We now need a clean bill of health from the IMF to enable us to be able to assess the facility. It's a bilateral thing that Ghana did. Don't know. Parliament has approved of it. Assessing it now has become difficult because of our engagement with the IMF. We hope to God that we'll be able to come out clean pretty soon in order that it will come. So I do know that it will come off. Now we've taken some monies from some other facilities to begin the project. We've seen what is going on. Yes. But if we had the full complement of the original facility, we are going much higher than we are at now.
At least 4 constituencies, Bantama, Otafo, Swami and Menchia South, would benefit from the Swami interchange. In bowing out of Parliament after 28 years, Mr. Osechi Mensah-Bonsu says the project would complete his achievements for Swami.
I've not disappointed myself. In the process, I've served Swami effectively and efficiently to the best of my ability. I've served Kumasi, I've served Ashanti, I've served Ghana. In terms of facilities, in terms of projects, because we use the word project, I think the one outstanding will be that. But you see, people even forget that location of the interchange is not within Swami constituency alone.
Yes.
There are 4 contiguous constituencies. You have Bantama,
yes,
which ends at the interchange at the Swami roundabout. We have Mesia, which ends at the interchange. We have Tafu, which ends at the interchange. But because I've been a loud voice on these matters, right? Nobody is talking about, and because of the name Swami roundabout, now Swami interchange, people seem to think that it is within the belly of Swami. So it should be the effort of Chairman Zabunsu. Nobody is talking about Asenso as a member of Parliament. Nobody is talking about Dr. Martin Poku Prempe, even though all of us, my constituency ends at the roundabout, his constituency begins at the roundabout. Now Vincent, all of us, we coalesce at the roundabout. But I don't regret what I've done. Having spoken loudly to it, and now, by the grace of God, it's on stream.
The Swami Interchange project is the first ever 4-tier interchange in the Ashanti region. From Kumasi, for Joy News, Oyinteria reporting.
Imani Africa President Franklin Kujo has called on Roads Minister Francis Asenso-Boakye to apologize to the people of Ejiso. The Roads Minister, during the party's campaign in Ejiso, warned the constituency risk any further road construction in the area if they vote against the MPP's Kwabena Boateng. The party's candidate faces stern competition from the 5 other candidates, including 3-time former MP Kwabena Usu-Idiomi. Listen to what Asenso-Boakye told constituents on the campaign trail.
As we speak, government has a candidate on the ground. If you vote an independent candidate, how does he come to me to lobby for roads?
That's another party, MP. Now, Parliament, lobby for roads. What to me? Ain't happening.
Just last week, former MPP Member of Parliament for the area, Kwabena Usu-Idiomi, filed nominations to contest the election as an independent candidate. The Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP, Bernard Njugwe-Seako, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, at the press conference, accused the NDC of pushing the former MP to go independent, promising to investigate the matter.
Honorable, Ajay was the MP. Then he was a minister. Then you came to overthrow him. Then you also become deputy minister. Then John Kuma also came to overthrow you. So now why you don't want to follow the party? You know, is it NDC people who are pushing you? Is it NDC people? We are going to go deep to it. MPP have helped you. So if MPP have helped you, you cannot be disloyal to this party who has helped you. If we ask you what you have, as what the MPP have helped you or done for a Joso constituency, this is what you can boast for. So if you don't allow Kwabena Boateng to go, so how can your turn also will come? When it will be your turn. You see, so we are a political party, we are a very strong party. Even when John Kuma is there, John Kuma beat him. You know, so Honorable Kwabena Boateng is going to beat him. They call him lawyer go, lawyer come. You know, lawyer go, lawyer come. This is what we are going to do. And at the moment, development is what the Joso people need. And I'm going to support you to make sure all their needs and their wants, we try to do as much as we can.
Well, Imani President Franklin Kujo has condemned the comment, calling on the minister to apologize.
I mean, if people decide that they want a particular candidate, does it mean that they will have to go to hell because they do not agree with the party in power? I think what the road minister is communicating is not fair. And it appears to me even secondary school politics have actually evolved than even this. This politics of might is stronger, and that the fact that I'm in power, that means people who are closer to me must be able to lobby me to get projects. It's unfortunate. That is not the way to go at all. And I'm a bit disappointed in my own good friend Adesowachi for saying that. I think he should apologize to the people of Ejisu.
You have the Franklin Kujo on that one. Now, Railways Development Minister John Peter Amewo has hit hard at former President John Mahama for asserting that the Railway Ministry did not do proper test runs on the newly acquired trains before setting it in motion, responding to the recent accident on the Tama and Pakadan railway line involving the newly imported trains. John Peter Amewo described Mr. Mahama's comments as inaccurate, adding test runs were conducted by professionals on the trains before getting them on the railway. He spoke on PM Express last night.
I totally disagree with His Excellency John Mahama. I don't blame him. This is not his field. Those guys who did this test run are experts. There are 16 engineers that were brought from Poland. This is 304, I was told, tests that they've conducted worldwide this year. And so I don't know His Excellency John Mahama where he's coming from with this understanding that no inspection has been done. As I clearly explained to you, they put in the system for inspection. A rail track was put ahead. Earlier on in the morning, they went around the whole line to see that there was no obstacle. 30 minutes this time before the takeoff of this DMU, the rail track, the maintenance track, was put ahead. So what is he saying when he said inspection?
This is what he says. How can you conduct a test run on the new railway line without the track inspection? How long had the vehicle been on the track before the test run? If I were president, I'll be asking some serious questions. The second question he asked...
Can I answer that question?
Yes.
I don't think he understood the question himself, his accent. Did he try to find out whether inspection was done as a former president? Did he make an effort before coming out with this? Sometimes some of us just refuse to talk because some of this statements being made by people at higher authority. If I'm a former president, I would never say this type of thing. Did he try? He knows me well. He could just find out from me from the office. Oh, my minister, my boy. Then we'll tell him the truth. He has not established that fact. And as a president, have an intention of coming to lead Ghanaians. And you come out with this type of statement. I don't know. Surprisingly, this type of... I don't know how to describe it, but His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, this is below the belt. I am sorry, I give you all the kind of respect, but I expect you to find out first. This is below the belt.
Development Minister is, however, hinting the newly acquired trains will focus more on freight transportation rather than passenger services. The minister explains passenger services on trains typically does not generate profits, reason why they will focus more on freight transport to be able to raise some revenue. Peter Amewo again.
Yeah, services on train lines are not, it's not a profitable venture. But what it does is that it has a multiplier effect in terms of its impact on the economy. Workers are sent quicker to their point of destinations. They're able to move to work and do things quickly and return. So diminishing on the intensity of traffic density, the route in terms of the lifespan will be projected. So these are some of the things that you don't see physically. But if you factored it into the gains, then you realize that, it's worth doing it. But you don't really get a return in terms of profit. We did some analysis, for instance, by using, I think, a maximum of about 200 people, running a day for, and it's not much. We're making quite close to about think about 500,000, 536,000 a month, but the cost is in excess. The cost is about 700,000. So it means there's still a viability.
Because if you look at it, I mean, you have to maintain it.
You have to maintain,
right?
You know?
And you're not making enough money.
No.
How do you maintain it? Yeah. How do you run this sustainably?
And that is why all over the world, governments get involved in the operation of passenger train in terms of services. You know, by closing that viability gap. Because this one, we're going to buy fuel, you know.
Absolutely.
We're going to buy fuel, we're going to employ workers, and we have built at least about 8 stations on the line. We're going to put people there.
So guaranteed it will run at a loss?
Definitely there's not going to be, it's not a profitable venture as I stated it, based on the studies that we've conducted. You're not going to make 1 cedi, you know, for passengers. But when you start running the freight, the expectation is that that gain from the freight will cover this viability gap that we're seeing in the passenger round.
We're still live on Joy News Deck. Let's take a break. When we return, there's business.
Hi, welcome to Business. My name is Darrell Kwao. Some stakeholders supporting startups and small businesses are asking for startups and small businesses to be supported and provided practical advice to finance the operations. This, they say, will help businesses navigate the current challenges that compel startups to collapse in a short period. Here's more in this report.
Even though finance is key to starting a business, research has shown that supporting entrepreneurs with the right advice and coaching can help young SMEs grow. Speaking to the media at the launch of the 2024 Africa Street MBA project, founder of Done by Us and executive director of Africa Street MBA, Ken Wellington, underscored the need to provide guidance to small businesses.
Research has said that the key to startup failure is lack of funds, right? I think about the fourth factor has to do with lack of business knowledge. That is where we are tackling. And the fact that, you know, there are types of entrepreneurs. There's this necessity entrepreneur that starts a business out of necessity. Then there is also the opportunity entrepreneur that starts a business based on an opportunity that they've discovered that will bring value. So when we engage the youth, we try and help them to start right, you know, by increasing their knowledge, and through KGL Foundation by also giving them grants as well, so that they can you know, go through that startup phase. And like I said, it's a community, so it's not a one-off thing. They have our consultants on speed dial. They reach us anytime they're having issues, and we guide them along the way. So for 2024, all those that will come in contact with Africa Street MBA throughout the year, whether we are in their community or we've wrapped up activities in their community, would be able to and still connect with the team to provide them with more resources.
On this part, programs manager at KGL, Samuel Anoba Sape, said it is important to connect young entrepreneurs to constant finance and grow their businesses.
There are a lot of young people with brilliant ideas in Ghana, but unfortunately, because they're not economically empowered and they don't have resources, they are unable to start, you know, their businesses. And so for us at KGL Foundation, we believe in investing in young people. One of the key things we always say is empowering communities and changing lives. And so that is the motivation behind our partnership with Done by Us on the African Street MBA project, basically to empower young people and give people opportunity to improve their lifestyles.
Now, as part of Star Assurance Limited's corporate social responsibility and 39th anniversary celebration, the company has extended its support to the Kaneshi Lorry Station. According to Chief Financial Officer Justice Franco Fair, the company is bent on engaging drivers to ensure road safety and reduce accidents. He spoke to Joy Business at the Star Clean Day event at the Kaneshi Lorry Station in Accra.
The event was to demonstrate the solid partnership the company has had with its stakeholders over the years. Justice Ofei mentioned that the company will deepen its relationship with other key stakeholders.
We are celebrating our 39th anniversary. We are celebrating 39 years of solid partnership, 39 years of innovation, 39 years of creating delightful experiences, both for our clients and all our stakeholders. So we are engaging with our stakeholders and then trying to share our 39 years success with them. And this is something we've been doing every year. So we have come to the Kaneshie Lorry Park here because we have a lot of cars plying various routes. So we have come to engage with them, to engage in cleanup. Cleanup is good because we need to ensure that we have healthy lives before we can even undertake our various business ventures. So we came to help them do cleanup. Beyond that, we need to sustain the cleanup. So we are living with them some dustbins so they can sustain the clean environment that they are living in here. We are also leaving them with dusters and air fresheners. The lorries or the cars are supposed to be the offices of the various drivers. So you need to keep your office clean so that whoever comes as a guest into your office will also keep your office clean for you.
And that's it for this segment. The news returns after this.
And as I wrap up the bulletin on Joy News Desk, my name is Aisha Ibrahim. See you again at 12.